Welcome to TARTLEcast with your hosts Alexander McKegg and Jason Rigby, where humanity steps into the future and source data defines the path.
Hey, Jason. Do you recognize my face?
You made it funny.
I look at you, but I don't recognize you.
Yeah, you don't recognize me.
Hey, now that I have seen your face, do you know this guy?
No,
I suggest to you?
I want $360 for looking at my face, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For scanning it and processing it and not telling me you're going to do so. And then after you've done that, you offer some sort of marketing regime between people.
Yeah. So now we have an article. This is interesting. Facebook will pay more than $300 each to 1.6 million Illinois users in a settlement. 1.6 million Illinois users.
Yeah. So Illinois has one of the strongest.
That's a state in the United States for our international listeners.
Yeah. Illinois, not noise. Illinois. And for anybody that's wondering, Illinois has one of the strongest biometric security privacy laws anywhere in the U.S. And when they found out that, there were a bunch of people complaining that Facebook was analyzing their faces to suggest friends and other things to other people, and they said, well, did we ever tell you you could scan the geometry of my face? Like, I didn't even know you had facial recognition software. Why didn't you tell me this?
Right.
And then this thing's going off, and it's like, oh, it's like, this is valuable. Let me suggest this person to you, or, suggest tagging a person in this photo. So you've gone through, scanned all my photos, scanned all my faces, stored my facial geometry in your computers, and now you're going to suggest something to me? And wait a minute. Did I say, they're like, where's the consent in this?
This reminds me of the reCAPTCHA thing. It's just kind of the same.
It's 2.0.
Yeah.
What Google did with reCAPTCHA, Facebook did with facial recognition geometry. Okay, and Illinois is like, no, we are not going to stand for this. And so after there was a bunch of lawsuits that came together about it, they're like, we need to put together a class action lawsuit.
Yes. 6 years of legal proceedings this took.
Why? And, Facebook could have skipped all the trouble, the lawyers, Illinois, everybody, if we just took the consentful approach. If we were just upfront and say, can we buy, we got a TARTLE data packet here. We want to buy pictures of your face so we can analyze it. I want you to take your face at all these different angles, and we're going to scan it, and we're going to use that for these purposes.
But I think if we look at this in a macro view, this is the problem that we're facing when we look at data and ownership. And where does the ownership lie? And who owns it?
I think just because it's on Facebook servers, they think they own it.
Yes.
Let's talk. Well, not anyone. Let's think about TARTLE. When you put your data on our servers, we don't own it. It's your data. You're the only one with the key to decrypt and unlock that data. We can't do it. We don't own it. We're just like a shell of a house for you to come in and put all your shit in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
Except the house is fortified like the Pentagon.
Well, why do you think that they feel like they have this assumption, great word, of owning the data?
Honestly, I really don't know. Because then I would be assuming. I think because it's on their servers and they've gone through the thing saying, well, you've signed our terms and conditions, you've signed our privacy policy. They just think they can, kind of do whatever sort of research ad hoc on it. But again, people don't read the terms and conditions. People aren't learned enough to go, a large majority of us on contract law to go through this. So when you start, and all they see is like, you analyzed my face and you didn't ask me. The biggest solve here, Jason, is just to ask the person, what do you need? This. Okay, what are you going to do with it?
Right.
Oh, all right, fine, yeah. And you're going to allow me to use Facebook easier because it suggests who I tag?
Yeah, and the sad part about this lawsuit is, like, Facebook's looking at it as, or any tech company when they look at lawsuits, and they do this ahead of time, what's the risk and reward on it? And then it's, like in the article said, this is chump change for them. So they're like, oh, okay, how much do we make off of having all these facial recognition? Okay, if we do get in lawsuits, are we still profitable?
And it's just Illinois, though.
Yeah.
Come on. Facebook literally runs social media of the globe.
The globe, yeah.
They're analyzing 1 billion faces, if not more. It's nuts.
Yeah, and I want to get back to data ownership real quick because I think this is important for people to understand the sovereignty that they've given away whenever they're allowing them to scan their faces or put their thumbprint in, or, whoever it may be. Like Apple has that where they scan your face. They have the thumb on Google, phone. I mean, you're looking more and more and more with these social media companies finding new ways to grab data from you. So, sovereignty.
To monetize data.
Yes, to monetize.
And you've, as a collective, all of us have given them $35 billion. We all did that. What'd you get? You got a free system to share pictures and write comments? What a joke. So I can message people and have a business page and upload my pictures and put metadata on it. That allots to $35 billion. And I don't get one cut of it, even because you're advertising all of it off of my back.
Yeah, well, I mean,
hold on a second.
I want people to think of it this way, because this is very simple. Okay, so you're going to start a business, but you're not going to create the website. You're not going to put any of the content on the website.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to do any of the marketing. You're going to let your customers do all that for you. And then you're going to turn around after they build it for you.
Yeah.
Then you're going to turn around and remarket to them and sell products and services from other companies while they're continuing to build your business.
This reminds me an awful lot of how German factories operated in the early 40s.
Yes.
Work hard, you get a bunch of stamps. We'll send you on vacation as you build these roads and these cars, and you can drive the car that you built there.
THORT, T-H-O-R-T, was the system that was created for that.
Yeah.
Or you're Jewish, so we could kill you, or you could come work for free to build this road.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, we'll either kick you off WhatsApp,
right,
or, you accept our terms and conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Something is amiss here with the sovereignty and...
excuse me, sir. That's the first time I've ever...
You're excused. You never sneezed.
I never sneezed on a podcast, and I did it. I tried to go away from the mic. Hopefully.
You're letting all the bullshit come out of you.
I need to sneeze a lot more than that.
You must be
probably
really
about 5 million. How much did they pay?
Yeah,
about that many sneezes.
You're really allergic to your own bullshit. But it's all these are metaphorically akin to one another. And sovereignty and respect for the individual it's missing. Just because someone signed something or did something and they truly didn't know what they were signing doesn't mean you should take advantage of it. It doesn't hurt you. It'll cost you less, truthfully, to just go to them and be like, can we do this? Mm-hmm. Yes or no? And then the person asks, why are you going to do it? And you say, this is why we're going to do it. Great. Thank you for offering me a new service, and thank you for telling me and giving me the option. But there was no option. They just came in and said, analyze all the faces, do this specific thing. Great, good for us. Now we have everybody's facial geometry.
Yeah, and when we incentivize someone, like TARTLE, we incentivize a person to
we don't incentivize,
to exchange their
the
data.
buyer incentivizes.
Yeah, the buyer.
That person.
Yeah, that's a great
because
analogy.
We're not handling that money.
Right.
Okay, we have to be abundantly clear about that. But go ahead.
No, but whenever I'm asked to do something, it's not just you asking me to do something. You're also incentivizing me, and to me, that shows mutual respect.
Yeah.
To me, as a human,
respect for you as a human, and respect for the value of the thing you created.
Yes.
Shouldn't both of those match? If they don't, something's amiss. It's out of balance. Systems have to have balance. If they don't have balance, your cantilever bridge is going to fall, right? That's what we're looking at here. You're not building a bridge properly. It's unstable foundation. And this sort of transaction that's happening on Facebook with Facebook's users is an unbalanced transaction. That's what's happening. Someone's reaping way more value than the value someone gets of just adding friends, putting photos up, and getting ads delivered to them. The value set is not there. It's not a really respected value set. And it's not just Facebook. It's so many other systems that have copied that model. And we just use them because, they're a name that we can focus on. People are used to it. So we're not bashing Facebook. It's just fundamentally that path that they've taken has been mirrored by so many others.
And when you talk about mirror, because I love that word, it's just this whole, like a new, let's say TikTok comes out, or these new social media, companies come out, and then they're mirroring what was successful off of the other ones. So they're saying, okay, well, how can we get users? How can we get time of site? And then how can we advertise to them so we can make, so we can have people buy ads from us?
So we can go back to our investors and say, look at the ROI we got.
Yes.
Not, look how ethically we built this out, made sure everyone was in a completely balanced system, and look how we've elevated both parties.
And I want to encourage, and we'll end in this, we have the big 7 that we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go through them real quick. Climate stability, educational access, human rights, global peace, public health, government and corporate transparency, and economic equalization. All 7 of those, TARTLE is looking at that and saying, this is how we're going to help humanity, and we believe that data will do that. And so we've made that a priority with TARTLE, and I know other companies were asking them to join and come with us and exchange data for those priorities. Why is it so important, Alex, especially you as the CEO of TARTLE, why is it so important for us to focus on these big 7?
Well, these big 7 they require the collective power of all of us. And any great corporation, and I say great in terms of size, like economic value that they've created, have relied heavily on knowledge and big data. So they know what it means to have huge swaths of information to come together to analyze something and trying to come to an answer. And so if you really want to start focusing on the largest problems that affect everyone, well, then you're going to need everybody's information to do so. So we can come together as a collective resource to do that. So the reason we guide and we champion people and businesses to take that effort is because these are things that affect us all, regardless of race, religion, culture, background, demographic, socioeconomic status. Doesn't matter. All these things are going to affect us. So we need to come together in the collective, realize the power in that collective of our data, and solve these problems that we have created. It's not like one of those things like an asteroid's coming towards Earth, and we just send a bunch of nukes out there and try and nuke the crap out of it. We couldn't account for that. But what's happening right now that faces us in our future, these are things we can account for, that we're responsible for. And that responsibility of collective data ownership and sharing towards these big 7, that is the focus I specifically have, our company has, our culture has, and that's something we're trying to share with the world because we need to take responsibility for it, and we can solve that through data. And we know it can be solved.
Responsibility, that's a great word.
Yeah, responsibility.
Thanks, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for listening to TARTLEcast with your hosts Alexander McKegg and Jason Rigby, where humanity steps into the future and source data defines the path. What's your data worth?